help me face the rising sun. Comfort me through all the pain that life may bring. There's no other hope that I can lean upon. Lead me, Lord, lead me all my life. Walk by me, walk by me across the lonely roads that I may face. Take my arms and let your hands show me the way. Show the way to live inside your heart all my days, all my life. You are my light. You're the lamp upon my feet. All the time, my Lord, I need you there. You are my light. I cannot live alone. Let me stay by your guiding love all through my life. Lead me, Lord.
Welcome to City Exodus!
Welcome to City Exodus. If you've been blessed with these videos, then please don't forget to click on the bell and subscribe to our channel. That way you can be notified of all the new videos that come out. Also, please share these videos as well if you feel it will encourage someone you may know. Be sure to also check out our other video playlists, such as the medical missionary work, and of course our episodes on country living, and our special updates. Speaking of updates, we have been doing multiple projects here on the homestead. So one project I've recently been working on is rerouting our main line and teeing it off into our garden. Our garden was our tester garden, if you recall, where we grew some eggplant, some strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, goji berries, some corn, some guava, fig, pomegranate, and squash, serrano peppers, and green beans. We also are putting a sink there, a little utility sink to rinse off some vegetables and fruits that we may pick and harvest. This main line will also be branched out to a bigger garden, which we're starting to work on for the winter, to grow some winter crop and do some long row gardening. Hopefully we get to start that soon. Exciting times, and also working on our perimeter fence. So I wanted to give you also an update on our treatment room. As you know, in some of the earlier episodes, some previous episodes, we mentioned after the experiences we had with my parents, with all the different people in need of natural remedies and people who are getting sick, that we know we are actually moving forward with this project. We've got a brother from San Diego, and he's helping us do the floor plans and getting the permits. We also have people here that are willing to help, that are going to help build it, and so the project is underway. We're starting to call some of our resources out here to get the land leveled and get the foundation ready, and so we are underway, and please keep that in prayer. If you'd like to donate to this project, our home sanitarium, this treatment room, please feel free to visit our website and go to the support page, and there you could give a love offering to this cause for our project. Please also specify if that's what it's for as well, so we know that this could go for this project directly. We've also been doing quite a few speaking engagements at different homes, at different churches. It's just very encouraging seeing that that there are many brethren out there that are very interested, seeing the signs of the times and things that are going on, that are interested in not only country living, but also the health message. Kim has done some cooking classes and has also done some places where she's showing people how to cook healthy, plant-based food. And it's been a blessing to be able to go to different places, to meet with brethren interested in the work for the last days and interested in having better health, and also current events that are going on, along with the need to move to the country. We've also been getting many people come and visit here where we live, to experience the country living and to see what we're doing out here, and to see our little community here of Adventists. And so it's been such a blessing meeting all types of people coming from different states and cities and seeing why they're interested. And we'd love to share many of their stories, because some of them actually had purchased land, and they're just amazing stories, and how they were able to acquire this land. And soon we'll be filming these episodes and having them come on to our new segment, Country Living Chronicles. And hopefully we can get those out to you soon so you can hear these amazing stories. I'd love to share these stories with you now, but I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to butcher it. I want them to tell you directly, and hopefully encourage you in your walk and in your journey from the city to the country. And for those of you who are still in the valley of decision, still living in the city and still contemplating whether or not it's even possible, or if it's even worth considering leaving the city and leaving where you're at and to move into the country, I wanted to encourage you with this object lesson that I learned myself from just working in the garden. You know, one day, well, right now it's beginning of winter. We've had our first frost already. Our crop has pretty much wiped out except for the berries. But I remember just a few weeks ago, before the first frost, I was at the eggplant, and I believe we had visitors, and I was trying to get some for them and allow them to kind of harvest some of the eggplant we had. And I thought about at that point, like, how many eggplants we had already harvested from this one plant. And it was about April, I want to say it was about April or May when we first planted this eggplant. And I remember specifically us getting it at Home Depot. And because it was our first garden, and it's because it's the first time I was really planting something, I didn't start from seed. I didn't know how to really start from seed and then transplant it. So I just said, I'm just going to get one that's already kind of in a little pot with some nice soil. And I saw that these eggplants were already having some flowers on it. You know, at Home Depot or Lowe's or a local nursery you go to, you see these plants, and they're in these little pots. And so I remember bringing it home. And I remember seeing that eggplant, seeing it in that small pot. It was moist soil. You could tell this was babied, and it was in a nice shaded, kind of a little bit of sun in Home Depot outside. And I remember bringing it to our property and seeing when us barely just starting the garden, it was just dirt. It was just dry, barren dirt. You know, and it's amazing for some of you that have seen some of the episodes where you might have seen wood chips on it. I'm not doing the Back to Eden gardening. It's a different that's totally different from what I'm doing. I'm just pretty much putting it in the soil and just covering it with wood chips, just as mulch, as a way to retain water and give it some shade, the soil, so it won't, so the water, it could retain moisture longer, and I don't have to water it as frequently. And so I put this eggplant in the ground pretty much as the ground was. And if you really think about it, it was already October when I was doing this harvesting, and we had about 60 eggplant from that one plant, and it's just been giving us non-stop eggplant. It's bearing so much fruit. And when I really sat and thought about it, I looked at this eggplant, who at first really was in a nice little small pot with rich soil. It thought that it was rich. It thought that it could probably flourish in that small pot. But me, the farmer that I wanted to be, wanted it to go in this dry, barren dirt. And I didn't put any amendments. And I just put it in there, and it flourished. It flourished. And when you really think about it, it's very similar to what our life is like. And at times we think to ourselves that we're rich. We are in need of nothing. We'll flourish. We're okay. But the divine farmer wants to put us in this dry, barren soil that you don't think you'll be able to make it. But little did we know that the divine farmer knows a lot better than us and can sometimes put us out of our comfort zone, out of the norm, and put us where he knows best, even if to us it doesn't look right. You know, it's interesting knowing how plants work. If you really think about it, plants exert all of its energy, its whole life is, what is it dedicated to? Does it grow fruit for itself? Think about that. Everything it does, all its energy is put into producing fruit, not for itself, but for others, to give life to others. This eggplant gave us over 60 and counting, and maybe even more than that. I lost count. We had to give some away just from one plant. And so we should be like this eggplant, taken out of its rich soil, its moist, good-looking soil in this small pot, and trusting in God that wherever, or trusting in God, that divine farmer, to place us wherever he sees best, despite how it may look to us. No matter how bad or dry or ugly, but it will definitely be a place where we can grow and bear much fruit. After all, isn't that what we're here for? To bear fruit, to build the kingdom of God, to win souls, to gain character. Who will be warned? We say again, out of the cities. Do not consider it a great deprivation that you must go into the hills and mountains, but seek for that retirement where you can be alone with God to learn His will and way. And yes, it won't be easy. It will be out of your comfort zone. An expensive dwelling, elaborate furnishings, display, luxury, and ease do not furnish the conditions essential to a happy, useful life. Jesus came to this earth to accomplish the greatest work ever accomplished among men. He came as God's ambassador to show us how to live so as to secure life's best results. What were the conditions chosen by the infinite Father for His Son? A secluded home in the Galilean hills, a household sustained by honest, self-respecting labor, a life of simplicity, daily conflict with difficulty and hardship, self-sacrifice, economy, and patient, gladsome service, the hour of study at his mother's side with the open scroll of Scripture, the quiet of dawn or twilight in the green valley, the holy ministries of nature, the study of creation and providence, and the soul's communion with God. These were the conditions and opportunities of the early life of Jesus. Read the history of Abraham, Jacob, and Joseph, of Moses, David, and Elisha. Study the lives of men of later times who have most worthily filled positions of trust and responsibility, the men whose influence has been most effective for the world's uplifting. How many of these were reared in country homes? They knew little of luxury. They did not spend their youth in amusement. Many were forced to struggle with poverty and hardship. They early learned to work, and their active life in the open air gave vigor and elasticity to all their faculties. Forced to depend upon their own resources, they learned to combat difficulties and to surmount obstacles, and they gained courage and perseverance. They learned the lessons of self-reliance and self-control. Sheltered in a great degree from evil associations, they were satisfied with natural pleasures and wholesome companionships. They were simple in their tastes and temperate in their habits. They were governed by principle, and they grew up pure and strong and true. When called to their life work, they brought it to physical and mental power, buoyancy of spirit, ability to plan and execute, and steadfastness in resisting evil that made them a positive power for good in the world. Brethren, we need to move from that small pot and soil that looks rich and that seems like we can grow and flourish in this, and instead move to where the divine farmer would like to place us. So those who are called to unite with Christ must leave all in order to follow him. Old associations must be broken up, plans of life relinquished, earthly hopes surrendered. In toil and tears, in solitude and through sacrifice must the seed be sown. That soil may look dry, and it may look barren. It may look like it would be lacking in nutrients, but the divine farmer knows where he could plant you so you can flourish and bear much fruit and fulfill your heavenly duty to glorify God. Plants are so selfless. Again, it demonstrates such selflessness to devote its whole life to feed others and give life to others. Jesus is coming soon, friends. Make that decision to truly put yourself and your family in the best position possible to gain the character of Christ and bear fruit, that the work may be done and many will be saved. I hope you've been encouraged. Now be blessed and be a blessing.
Be blessed and be a blessing.
Jesus is coming again.
City Exodus has committed itself to spreading the present truth messages in these last days, not only to our brethren, but to the surrounding communities that we are a part of or visit. As we learn more of the medical missionary work, we continue also making City Exodus episodes on our country living journey and continue the literature, friendship, and health evangelism. You can visit us on our Facebook page and see the latest posts on what we're doing and current news pertaining to end time events. And you can also visit us on our website at www.sdacityexodus.com to check out our ministry, our various natural remedies and products, and our apparel store, and you can also find other resources there that might be a blessing to you. On our website, you can also donate and support our ministry. Since we are self-supporting and are limited in funds, we would like to continue doing as much of the work in these last days, but we'll need your help. We appreciate your support in our mission and continuing work.
Be blessed and be a blessing.
Be blessed and be a blessing.
Be blessed and be a blessing. Maranatha.